Could you do a tutorial on your 1.7 Obsidian farm, please?
But what about the wither-powered Obsidian
Can you please
farm?
make a
I'm still
tutorial
waiting
for
for
the
that
Obsidian farm tutorial?
I hate to be a hater,
but... Yes, I know, I should have done this way sooner, but here it is, the tutorial for the Obsidian farm for 1.8. It's finally here after, I think, almost exactly a year now, so, but anyway, I've made sure that this is as safe as possible and as nice to look at as possible. So you may notice that the wither is no longer on top of the Obsidian platform. He's back underneath it like in my first design, which only worked in 1.7 and under. And also you can't see any dispensers or hoppers or anything like that for any water streams, so it's very nice to look at. The aesthetics are very pleasing on this. And also it's still fairly fast, even though it only destroys 3 obsidian at a time, so it will still cater for all your obsidian needs. So anyway, let's see it working. So here we just have the items being funneled down, all the snowballs go through, and same with the obsidian. Snowballs go up this dropper elevator here and into this dispenser behind this hopper, and then all the obsidian goes down this line, up this test elevator, and then into these chests here. So anyway, that's enough explanation. I'm pretty sure you would know how this farm works if you watched the previous video on my obsidian farm. But anyway, let's actually build it. So the very first step in building this farm is to kill the ender dragon. If you do not, then your farm is absolutely certain to fail at some point and break, because the ender dragon can destroy any blocks apart from endstone, obsidian and bedrock. This shouldn't be too much of a problem though, as the ender dragon is actually easier to kill than the wither. So now we come to the second part of the build. This is to do with where your obsidian platform is located. For this seed, it is located hovering in midair, and I'm doing it like this so that it's open in the air and so you can see what I'm doing easier. However, this farm is much easier to build if you have a seed where the obsidian platform is inside the end stone. But anyway, even if it's floating in the air, you will need to clear an area around it so that you've got room to build your farm. So you can do this with TNT. Bear in mind though that you will need quite a bit of TNT as endstone has a blast resistance of 45 and is one of the strongest blast resistant blocks there is. I think this should do the job a bit better. Yeah, that's definitely enough room, apart from this bit down here. I need to get rid of that. So the first thing we need to do to actually build the farm is to place blocks lining the obsidian platform like so, and then place sticky pistons like so, place one mirrored on the other side, and then place one directly in the middle facing upwards like that. And what these are going to do is they're going to block off the water streams when we don't want them to flow. So you just build up the walls like so, so that it's 3 high, and also make sure that your ceiling is either 3 blocks or taller on this farm. So you just build up the wall there as well, and on this side, so that the water doesn't get out. And then place blocks like so. Then on this middle one you want to place 3 blocks, then blocks like that just to contain the water, and then on this one you do the same as on the other side, like that. Now you want to place 5 sticky pistons along here, like so, blocks on top, and then extend this floor along until it's 4 blocks long, like that. And then bring your wall along as well so it meets here. And then place a block here and then a lever on it like that. I'm just using a lamp so it's easy to see which block is the input block. Now we want to place a block behind this lamp, place a redstone dust on it like that, then a torch here, block, redstone dust, torch, and then we want to make a comparator pulse extender like so. So we just place comparators facing in those directions, and make sure this block here isn't a block, it must be redstone dust, otherwise it will never power off. So just keep that in mind. And then we place blocks along here like that, diagonally down from these sticky pistons, and then redstone dust along like so. Torches underneath so that they power on these sticky pistons, and then block here, redstone dust, and a torch here, and they should turn off again. Then we want to place block here, redstone repeater on it, then blocks like so, redstone dust there, torch, blocks like that, redstone dust, more blocks, more redstone dust, and then finally more blocks and even more redstone dust like that. So now all of these holes should be closed, and this means that you can place in your water. Now we want to enclose this area like so that we have no water spillages going into the void. But now we can test it, so if we just flick on this lever, all the water should come out, and there should be a clear 1x3 area here, and this is where the wither is underneath, and these are the obsidian blocks that he destroys. To complete this area, we just want to build up the walls so that they are 3 blocks high, like so, and then do the same over here, and then fill in your ceiling like so. And what I did on mine is I just put an area of glass here, just so that you can see out the top, and there we go. So to build the wither cage, what we want to do first is knock out these 3 blocks of obsidian, then come down underneath here and build down 5 blocks, then extend it along on each side, and do the same here. And same here. So now you should be able to fit a 3x3 area of packed ice inside, and once you've got that, you want to close off the front, and when you get to the same level as the obsidian, you want to place 3 slabs like that. It could be any slab of blast resistance 30 or higher, and then just build blocks up either side, and then place blocks on top so that no wither skulls will be able to go upwards. So now we want to build along 4 blocks like this, place slabs on top of all of these blocks, and then place blocks on the side of here as well, and on top, and then we want to come down 1 block, place a 2x3 area of slabs, then blocks round like this, and then just place blocks up like this, and this is where our iron golem is going to be stored. So I'm just going to put glass in here so we can make sure that he's okay, and then we spawn him in, and then give him a good shove, and then what you want to do is shove him to one side, place slabs upside down on the roof of one side, and then push him over to the other side, and then place in more slabs. Sometimes it will be more difficult than that, you will need to use pistons to push in the slabs, but other than that it's fine. So anyway, the golem's in there, and now we need to place in where the snow golem goes. So you want to find this center bit here, and then come up and above here and find this bit. This is where our snow golem goes, so you just place blocks up like this, and then make your snow golem, and he just stays in there forever. And then you might just want to cap it off at the top so that he will not jump or anything, although I don't think they can jump anyway, but oh well. So that is the wither cage done. Next up, we need to build the item collection system. So what we do first is we come to these two blocks here, take them out, then place a block of compressed ice there, 2 support blocks here, then 2 hoppers like that, then place 7 blocks of packed ice like that, 3 here, normal ice there, and then packed ice there as well. And the reason why this has to be normal ice is because we are using a test item elevator, and it requires that there is a transparent block here. So now we want to build the item filters. So we place 2 support blocks like this, then 2 hoppers like that facing into the support blocks, and then we place a block here, and then block there, comparator there, blocks like this, and then blocks coming down, repeater there, dust like that, and then block there with a torch underneath that hopper. Then on this side we want to place blocks like that, another comparator, then blocks like that, redstone dust there, blocks like this, repeater, 3 blocks like that, redstone dust, and then block here and here, and then a torch underneath that hopper. Then what you want to do here is build out 3 blocks, then place 5 droppers facing up like that, remove those, then place hoppers in a chain facing into those droppers, and then do the same thing here like that. Then you want to place block here, comparator, then a block there, and then blocks underneath like so, torch there, redstone dust, then a repeater, and then a torch. Then you want to continue this zigzag pattern going up until you get to the same height as this dropper, then place 2 torches there and 1 torch there, and then finally 2 torches here like that. Now you want to remove these 3 blocks underneath here, then come around to this side, take out this block and place a dispenser facing into the wither cage, then replace these blocks, then place a hopper chain coming round this wall until it is directly above that dropper. Then coming back round to this side, we place blocks like this, redstone dust there, 4-tick repeater here and a 4-tick repeater here, redstone dust there, and then a torch here. And this is going to make a clock, and while the farm's deactivated we don't want this clock running. So to stop it we place a redstone dust there, then block here, torch, and then blocks going up like that, redstone dust on top of all of them, and then blocks over here to connect it to the main lever. And by some magical coincidence this is exactly 15, so we don't need any repeaters. So at this point we need to make the walls of the water stream, so we just basically place blocks along here, and I would advise making them too high because I've noticed that sometimes the items can either glitch downwards or upwards, because items are kind of weird in 1.8. So then you want to come to where this ice is and then break those 2 blocks, then place 2 transparent blocks there, and then do the same thing on the other side like that, two fences, and you will notice that this one doesn't attach to these two blocks because they are transparent. And now we need to place in the water. So if we just come in here, we place water there, place back that block, then place an upside down half slab there, then more water, then count along 3, so you have a gap of 3 in between there, then you have another upside down half slab, and then another piece of water there. Then you placed up 9 blocks of glass, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and then around it you'll also want to place small glass. Now once again in 1.8 this sort of elevator is quite buggy, so you want to surround it with solid blocks.
Now with that done, we can test our item elevator now. So all we do is toss in an item and make sure it lines up with that wall, and it should appear at the top, and it does. One small adjustment, you don't need this top layer. So now we just need to make our storage system. So we knock out this 2 wide row from the ceiling and then do the same for the wall, and then we need to place in our chests. So I'm just going to mark out a 2x5 area, which is where our chest will go, and you need to alternate between normal chests and trap chests. And I'm going to make it 3 blocks high. You can do the storage however you want, but you'll need to figure it out, as I just don't know how other people would want the storage. So now you need to place hoppers facing into the back of all of these chests, and then above here you'll need to place one facing down into the end one, and then make a hopper chain going along the top like that. Then you'll want to replace these 2 blocks with packed ice and place a double chest here, and this isn't actually going to be used, this is just to align the items with these hoppers. So then you want to place upside down half slabs above these hoppers, and then place packed ice like so all the way along here, and then build up walls around here, and this just goes round. And so now you can place water in there, and then if you put some obsidian in there, it will just flow along and go into the first hopper. Now you want to extend along your floor like that, and now the last step is the most terrifying. We need to spawn in the wither, and yeah, it's quite a hard task, so I will do my best to explain how to spawn him in. So now we need to make a clock that will put snowballs into this end portal, and the reason why we do that is because every time something passes through the end portal, the obsidian platform that the wither is underneath will get reset, and that's how we get the infinite supply of obsidian. So what you want to do is place a dropper here. It has to be a dropper. If it is a dispenser, it will fire the snowball straight at that wall and it will not go into the end portal. So you put a dropper there, then put 3 blocks around it like that. In fact, I will use glass just so you can see the snowball going through, and then also put one on top in case it goes on top, because sometimes it can because of the glitchy 1.8 items. So then place a torch on the side of that dropper. You can do that by holding shift, then place blocks like this, then a fortic repeater there and a fortic repeater here, then a piece of redstone dust there, and that will start a clock. And what we want to do now is actually stop the clock, so just put a lever there like that, and then you want to fill this dropper with snowballs, and then also add a hopper and a chest like that,
and you would actually extend this higher, but for the purpose of keeping this video short and concise, I'm just going to do one hopper and one chest. So fill up the hopper and also fill up the chest. And so now we can go back into the end and we can spawn our wither. And now we have the final step, and this is the most dreaded one. So to spawn in the wither, we have to encase him in a certain shape of blocks to stop him from moving while he's charging up. So what we do is we place a V shape like this in the middle, then we place 2 blocks here, and then we place our soul sand like that. And before we place these wither skulls back on, we need to break these blocks so that we are able to reach under here and place in water, because we have to place back these obsidian blocks, otherwise he will escape. So this is quite a hard process, but just watch me. I will also add a slow motion shot so you can see exactly what I'm doing. So what you want to do is make sure I'm on hard, yes I am, and then place in the 3 skulls like so, then place in your water, and then quickly put these blocks back on, and then cross your fingers and hope for the best. And has that worked? Yes, it has. So now you want to remove the water like that, and then you'll need to come around here and then put 1 snowball in there and then fire that dispenser once. And so what this does is it will have broken the blocks around the wither, and then you just need to come under here and break this last one so that the water stream is completed. And so now your wither is spawned in. So I will now go back to the overworld and turn on the clock that fires the snowballs onto here, and we will see if our farm works. So now we can turn on this clock and check if our obsidian farm actually works. So before we turn it on, we just need to place some snowballs inside this hopper. Just a stack will do, because it will fill itself up again. And then fingers crossed, and it works. One of the crucial things that I forgot to do is what to put in the item filters. So if you come over to these 2 hoppers again, you will see that they are kind of full of junk at the moment. What you need to do is put 1 snowball in each, and then fill the rest of the slots with signs. And so now if I turn on the farm, it should start moving the items through, and I think there's already some items, yeah, some of the wrong items in there, but it will start working and it should filter out all the snowballs, and any obsidian will go through here into the test item elevator, and then it will be stored. Okay, so there are now a few extra steps that you might want to add to this just to improve the overall quality of the farm. So improvement number 1, you'll want to place a furnace on top of any uncovered hoppers, and you can actually break these 2 blocks and also place furnaces. And the reason why we do this is because hoppers cause a bit of lag when in large numbers, because they are constantly checking for items above them to suck in, and really it should be the other way around. It should be items checking for hoppers beneath them, because they're only around for 5 minutes. But because it's the way around that it is, the only way we can stop them from checking is by putting lots of furnaces on top of each open hopper. So that is change number 1. The next one isn't really a change, but it's just a heads up. You'll want to disable all spawning of Endermen on the Ender Island. You will need to light it up, basically. That sounds like a strenuous task, and it is, but it's the only way to get this farm as reliable as possible, because eventually an Enderman is going to teleport inside there. It will get in the way of the Wither, and then it will try attacking the Wither at some point, and then the Wither will retarget, and the whole farm will go kaput, basically. So that's one of the heads up. Another heads up is, do not leave this lever on if you go back into the overworld. If you do, the farm will break, because this area will stay loaded for a few seconds after you leave, and that is enough time for at least probably 2 snowballs actually, to be in the Wither's face at once. And if there's more than 1 snowball being fired at him at once, he will rage. He will rage and shoot blockbusters and break his cage. So that is another thing that you must make sure you follow. Other than that, your farm is now complete. So guys, I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. If you did, please feel free to like, subscribe, leave your feedback in the comments, and I'll see you guys in the next video.